I was helping my neighbor fix his car, but what he did next I never saw coming. The wrench slipped from my fingers, clattering against the concrete floor of the garage like a gunshot in the humid Ohio night, as Zachary's lips crashed into mine with the force of a confession he'd bottled up for years. In that split second, the world tilted, the scent of motor oil and rain-soaked earth mingling with the salt of his skin, and I realized that the man I'd known as the straight-laced family guy next door had just shattered every boundary between us. The summer of 2015 in Elmwood, Ohio, had been a scorcher, the kind that turned the asphalt into a blacktop mirage and made every breath feel like inhaling from a hairdryer. I was Nathan Hayes, 28, fresh off a divorce that left me more hollow than heartbroken, crashing in my childhood home on Maple Street while I figured out what the hell came next. My days blurred into shifts at the local auto shop, wrenching on transmissions and dodging small talk from customers who smelled pity on me like cheap cologne. Nights were for staring at the ceiling fan, wondering if freedom felt this much like loneliness. Zachary Ellis lived next door, had since we were kids terrorizing the neighborhood with firecrackers and stolen beers from his dad's cooler. He was the golden boy varsity quarterback in high school, married young to Emily from the cheer squad, 2 kids who called me Uncle Nate like I was family. We'd stayed loose friends over the years, backyard barbecues, helping each other shovel snow, the occasional fishing trip where we'd bullshit about fantasy football and pretend life hadn't forked us onto different paths. He was straight as an arrow, or so I thought, with that easy grin and calloused hands that spoke of honest work at the lumber mill. That evening, the sky hung low and bruised, promising a storm that mirrored the one brewing in my gut. Emily was out of town for a nursing conference in Columbus, and Zachary's old Ford pickup had thrown a classic case of neglect, the engine coughing like a chain smoker's last breath. He'd texted me around 6. "Hey man, you free? Truck's fucked." Beers after, I wiped the grease from my hands at the shop, clocked out early, and trudged over in my faded Metallica tee and jeans that had seen better decades. The garage door was up, fluorescent light spilling onto the driveway like an accusation. Zachary was under the hood, sweat beading on his forehead, his flannel shirt unbuttoned to reveal the taut lines of his chest, marked by a faded tattoo of an eagle from his army days. He straightened when he saw me, flashing that boyish smile that always disarmed me. "Nate, you saved my ass. Kids need rides to soccer tomorrow, and Emily'll kill me if I'm stranded." "No sweat," I said, grabbing the toolbox from the workbench. "Pop the hood wider. Let's see what this beast is hiding." We fell into rhythm, the familiar dance of bolts and curses, the air thick with the tang of antifreeze and unspoken history. As we worked, conversation flowed easy. His gripes about overtime at the mill, my latest failed Tinder date with a girl who ghosted after one awkward coffee. Laughter punctuated the clanks, but there was an undercurrent, a hesitation in his voice when our hands brushed reaching for the same socket. By 8, the rain started, a soft patter at first, then sheets slamming the roof like applause for our progress. We'd isolated the issue, a cracked piston, nothing a tow to my shop couldn't fix come morning. "Beer?" he asked, wiping his brow with the back of his arm, muscles flexing in the low light. We cracked open cans from the mini-fridge, leaning against the truck's fender, the cold aluminum sweating in our grips. Thunder rumbled distant, a low growl that vibrated through the concrete. That's when it shifted. Zachary took a long pull, stared at the foam on the rim like it held secrets. "Nate, you ever feel like you're living someone else's life?" I chuckled, but it died quick. His eyes met mine, blue as Lake Erie on a clear day, but stormy now. Bruh. What do you mean? He set the can down, deliberate, like he was laying down arms. Emily's great. Kids are everything. But sometimes, I look at you, man. The way you carry it all, after Sarah left you like that. No bullshit. No pretending. Makes me wonder what I'm missing. My heart kicked up, a traitor in my chest. I'd buried those thoughts deep, flashes in high school locker rooms. The way his laugh lit something in me I couldn't name. But he was straight, married, the poster boy for Elmwood normalcy. Zach, you're drunk. Storm's messing with your head. I'm sober as a judge. He stepped closer, the garage shrinking around us. And I've been lying to myself for years. The wrench slipped. The kiss landed. It wasn't gentle. It was a dam breaking, his hands fisting my shirt, pulling me into the heat of him. I froze for a heartbeat, shock, then fire, and kissed back, tasting regret and hunger and home. When we broke, gasping, his forehead pressed to mine. Fuck, Nate. I'm sorry. I didn't mean, but I did. In that moment, under the flickering bulb, I meant every second of it. The next morning dawned sticky and gray, the rain a memory soaked into the earth. I woke on my couch, fully clothed, replaying the night like a forbidden reel. The kiss, the frantic apologies, Zachary bolting into the downpour with a "we can't" hanging in the air like smoke. My phone buzzed. Emily's minivan pulling into his drive, kids spilling out with backpacks and yawns. Normalcy resumed, a cruel joke. Work dragged. Every carburetor I rebuilt mocked me with its precision, while my thoughts spun wild. By lunch, Zachary texted, "Shop after shift? Need to talk." My stomach nodded, but I went. He was waiting in the bay, arms crossed, jaw set like he was facing a firing squad. "Nate, last night," he trailed off, glancing at the empty lot. "It was a mistake. Emily's back. The kids. I love them. I get it." Lies tasted bitter. One-time thing. Buried. His relief was a punch. "You're a good friend." "Best I got." He clapped my shoulder, brotherly, and left me staring at the oil stains on the floor, shadows that lingered like ghosts. But shadows don't stay buried. Weeks blurred. Barbecues where his eyes lingered too long over a beer. Fishing trips where silence spoke volumes. Emily noticed nothing. Bless her oblivious heart. But the tension coiled, a live wire between us. One night, after a mill shift that left him bruised from a fallen beam, he showed up at my door, bottle of Jack in hand. "Can't sleep," he muttered, and we drank on the porch, stars mocking our secrecy. That's when the confession spilled. High school crushes he dismissed as phase. A fumbling encounter in the army barracks he chalked up to loneliness. "Always wondered about you, Nate. But I chose the path. The safe one. And now," my voice was whiskey rough. He looked at me, vulnerable in the moonlight. "Now, I don't know how to unchoose. We didn't kiss that night. But we talked, hours peeling back layers, fears and dreams tangled like jumper cables." By dawn, as he slipped away before the neighborhood stirred, something shifted. Not a promise, but a possibility. A crack in the facade. Fall crept in, leaves turning Elmwood into a postcard of reds and golds. Emily announced another conference, Chicago this time. 2 weeks. The kids stayed with her folks, leaving Zachary's house echoing. He invited me over for poker night, solo edition. We played terrible hands, laughed at bluffs, but the cards were pretext. By the third beer, his hand covered mine on the table. "Stay," he whispered. I did. The bedroom was a sanctuary of flannel sheets and faded posters, his body a map I'd memorized in stolen glances. We moved slow, reverent, kisses tracing collarbones, hands exploring like first discoveries. No rush, just the quiet unraveling of years. Afterward, tangled in sheets, his head on my chest, he murmured, "This feels right." Scary as hell, but right. For those 2 weeks, we stole moments. Dawn runs turning into detours to the lake, where we'd park and lose ourselves in the fog-shrouded water. Late-night drives to nowhere, windows down, Springsteen blasting as his fingers laced with mine. It was romance in fragments, romantic as hell, but laced with dread. Every goodbye carried the weight of what-ifs. Emily returned tanned and chatty, oblivious. But cracks showed. Her sidelong glances at his distance, the way he'd flinch at her touch. Guilt gnawed him, manifesting in blow-ups over nothing, burnt dinners, misplaced keys. I pulled back, giving space, but the pull was magnetic. Thanksgiving loomed, family gatherings a minefield. His parents hosted, the Ellis clan a boisterous force, aunts with Jell-O salads, uncles debating politics. I was the lone invitee. "Nate's like kin," Zachary said, but his eyes pleaded. Under the table, his knee pressed mine, a secret Morse code. Emily chattered about holiday plans, her hand on his arm possessive. I excused myself early, the turkey dry in my throat. That night, he texted, "Porch. Now." Rain slicked the boards as we stood toe-to-toe, breaths mingling. "I told her I need space," he said, voice breaking. "Not why. Not yet. But I can't pretend anymore." Relief flooded me, chased by terror. "What about the kids? They love you, Nate." "We'll figure it." His kiss was fierce, sealing a pact. But pacts in Elmwood were fragile as autumn leaves. Winter bit hard, snow blanketing secrets. Zachary moved into a rental downtown, a breather, he called it. Emily, stunned but civil, focused on the kids. Therapy sessions whispered about at the diner. Scandal rippled. Whispers at the mill, pitying looks from neighbors. I became his anchor, our days a rhythm of coffee runs and quiet evenings, building something real from ruins. But betrayal lurks in the familiar. One blizzard night, snow howling like banshees, he vanished after a shift. Phone dead, truck gone. Panic clawed me. I drove circuits, headlights cutting white voids. Dawn broke with him stumbling home, eyes bloodshot, clothes reeking of bourbon and regret. "Where?" I demanded, heart fracturing. "Old buddy from the army." Passed through. Needed to clear my head. Lies hung heavy, but I swallowed them, too afraid to lose him. Spring thawed the ice, but not the chill between us. Dates became dates. Dinners at hole-in-the-wall Italian joints in Toledo. Hands held under tables. Stolen nights where his laughter filled my hollows. Love bloomed, fierce and unapologetic. Lazy Sundays with pancakes and playlists. Walks in the metroparks where he'd spin me under budding oaks, whispering, "You're my North Star," yet shadows lengthened. Emily filed papers, custody battles looming. His folks sided with her, family first, cutting him off with disappointed silences. The mill laid him off, economy dipping, job hunts soured his mood, arguments flaring over bills and futures. Climax brewed that June, heat wave mirroring our fever. A barbecue at my place, his idea, reclaiming normalcy. Friends came, my shop buddy Marco, a couple from the gym who'd outed themselves last year. Laughter flowed, beers clinked, but Zachary tensed when Emily dropped off the kids for the afternoon. "Be good for Daddy," she said, eyes flicking to me with veiled daggers. The kids adored the grill, chasing fireflies as dusk fell. But Emily lingered, cornering me by the fence. "He's confused, Nate. Using you to punish me. And it, for the boys." Her words venom, but truth twisted in. Later, as guests thinned, Zachary pulled me aside. "She's right, isn't she? This us. It's tearing everything apart." "No," I cupped his face, desperate. "We're building something better," but doubt seeded. That night, lovemaking turned frantic, grasping at vanishing edges. Betrayal struck like lightning. July 4th, fireworks exploding over the river. We'd planned a quiet watch from the bluffs, blanket and wine. But he was late hours, texts unanswered. Dread pooled as I drove home, finding his truck in the driveway. Through the window, him and Emily, entwined on the couch, kids asleep upstairs. A family reconciliation, her arms around him, his head buried in her shoulder. I fled, tires screeching, tears blurring taillights. Parked at the lake, waves lapping accusations. I shattered, sobs racking. The boy who'd fixed cars and hearts now broken beyond repair. Dawn crept over the water like a thief, gray light mocking my vigil. Phone clutched like a lifeline. No messages, just the echo of silence. Zachary's betrayal replayed in loops. Her hands on him. Familiar territory reclaimed. My place erased in a single night. Rage boiled, then ebbed to ache. Love doesn't die clean. Festers. Roots tangled in every memory. I drove to the shop, hands trembling on the wheel, radio static hissing judgments. Marco was there early, brewing coffee that smelled like burnt regret. "You look like shit, Hayes. Fireworks blow up in your face." Something like that. I grabbed a socket set, dove into a Chevy that needed mercy more than I did. Wrenches turned, bolts loosened, but nothing fixed the hollow in my chest. By noon, customers blurred, widows with sedans, farmers with trucks, each handshake a reminder of normal lives I envied. Afternoon brought the storm, Zachary's text. "Nate, please. Let me explain." Delete. Another, "It wasn't what it looked like. Call me." Silence my weapon. Evening found me at O'Malley's, the dive bar on Elmwood's edge, nursing whiskey that burned less than tears. Jukebox crooned Johnny Cash, "Hurt a dirge for fools like me." He walked in at 9, disheveled, hair wild, eyes red-rimmed like he'd wrestled demons. Barstool creaked as he sat beside me, uninvited. M came over. Kids wanted to see the fireworks together. One thing led to talk. Nothing happened, Nate. Swear on my life. I stared into amber liquid, voice steel. Saw enough. Her arms, your face buried. Don't gaslight me, Zach. Guilt carved his features. I panicked. 4th of July family tradition. She showed up crying, saying the boys missed normal. I let her in. Hugged her. Yeah. But that's it. God. Nate. You're the one I want. Liar. The word cracked. Bro. You ran back the second it got hard. Custody. Jobs. Your folks, poof. Back to safe. He reached for my hand. I yanked away. Stool scraping. It's not safe. It's hell without you. Voice broke. Patrons glancing. I love you. Messy. Terrified love. But real. Love. Bitter laugh escaped. Love doesn't betray. Doesn't choose ghosts over flesh. We argued in whispers. Barflies our audience, his pleas, my barbs, until the bartender cut us off. Outside, rain slicked the lot, headlights haloed in mist. He grabbed my arm. Don't walk away. Fight for us. I shoved him back, chest heaving. You didn't fight. You folded, stormed to my truck, leaving him sodden and shattered under neon glow. Days bled into weeks, a numb routine. Shop hummed, but I was automaton, smiles forced, nights solitary with takeout and true crime docs. Friends tiptoed, Marco inviting me to ball games, gym buddies spotting extra sets. Zachary's presence haunted, his truck parked curbside, porch light on like a beacon I ignored. Emily's influence spread whispers. At the grocery, checkout girls murmured troubled marriage, eyes pitying on me. His parents called once. Voice mail terse. Sort your mess. Boy. Families watching. Delete. Mid-August. Heat unrelenting. Climax ignited. A call from the mill. Zachary. Injured. Beam collapse. Leg crushed. Rushed to Mercy Hospital in Toledo. Heart seized. I floored it. Tires screaming highways. Dread companion. Our waiting room sterile hell. Fluorescent buzz. Coughs echoing. Families huddled. Nurse led me back. His room dim. Monitors beeping accusations. Leg elevated. Bandages stark white. Face ashen but eyes lighting when I entered. Nate. You came. Marco called. Neutral. Arms crossed in doorway. What happened? Idiot move. Overloaded pallet. Wince as he shifted. Docs say pins. Rehab. Months. Silence stretched. For drip metronome. Emily's on her way, he added soft. With the boys. Nod. Good. Family. His hand extended. Plea. Stay. Please. Against judgment. I did, perched on vinyl chair, holding vigil as morphine dulled pain. Nurses bustled. He rambled fever dreams. Childhood forts we'd built. First beers swiped. The kiss that upended worlds. Regret nothing but hurting you, he murmured, fingers lacing mine. You're my truth, Nate. Always were. Tears pricked. I squeezed back. Truth hurts like a motherfucker. Emily arrived whirlwind, kids trailing. Wide-eyed. Awkward tableau. Her stiff nod. Boys clambering for hugs. Nathan, she said cool. Thanks for coming. Duty, I replied, standing. But Zachary's grip tightened. Don't go. Chaos ensued. Kids demanding stories. Emily coordinating with docs. Me outsider in my own story. Hours ticked. Fatigue 1. Head nodding on chest. Woke to his whisper. Tell her. About us. Heart stuttered. Emily in hall. Coffee in hand. Boys asleep in chairs. Zach wants to talk, I said. Voice lead. Her eyes sharpened. About. Deep breath. Us. Me and him. Silence deafening. Then, knew something was off. The distance. The looks. No rage. Just weary sadness. Kids need stability. But he lights up with you. Haven't seen that in years. Shock. You're not mad, hurt, yeah, but not blind. Sigh. Talk to him. Whatever you decide. Back in room. Zachary pale. Waiting. Told her. Nod. She knows. Relief. Then terror. What now? Now? We fight. Together. Kissed his forehead. Salt and antiseptic. But no more running. Rehab began grim. Hospital to facility. Crutches clacking hallways. I visited daily, driving from Elmwood. Smuggling contraband burgers. Cheering PT sessions where sweat soaked his tea. Emily co-parented distant. Therapy joint now. Boundaries drawn. Kids adapted. Calling me Nate Dad in slips that melted ice. Fall returned. Leaves carpeting paths. Zachary's rental gathered dust. I cleared it weekly, airing regrets. One crisp October afternoon. Discharge day. He hobbled out on forearm crutches. Grin defiant. Homeward bound. Your place. Ours. Unspoken. Elmwood buzzed harvest festivals. But we cocooned nights of takeout and Netflix. His leg propped. My hands mapping scars. Intimacy rebuilt slow. Tentative touches escalating to passion tempered by caution. Love deepening in vulnerability. Betrayal's scar faded. But trust mended fragile. Holiday season loomed. Thanksgiving redo. His folks' tentative invite. We went, hand in hand under table. Announcement held till pie. Nate and I. We're together, he said, voice steady. Silence. Then his mom's tears. As long as you're happy, son. Emily's absence noted, but Bridges' half-burned smoldered hope. Winter whispered redemption. Christmas Eve. Snow soft. We drove to the lake. Same bluffs. Blanket spread. Fireworks absent, but stars exploded overhead. He turned, crutches aside, pulling me close. Marry me, Nate. Not today, but someday. Build the life we deserve. Tears froze on lashes. Yes. God. Yes. But stories don't end tidy. Humanism lies in the mess. Emily's call New Year's. Reconciliation trial. For kids. Zachary's face crumpled. One dinner. Neutral ground. You trust me? I did barely. Cafe in Perrysburg. Tension thick as fog. Laughter forced. Small talk barbed. Her hand brushed his. He pulled back. Eyes finding mine across table. This is it. Friends. Co-parents. Nate's my future. She nodded. Graceful defeat. Be happy. Both of you. Spring 2016 Bloom tentative. Job hunt landed him warehouse gig. Steady pay. My shop thrived. Marco promoting me lead tech. Weekends. Soccer sidelines. Me cheering beside Emily. Normalcy earned. Yet conflict simmered. His folks' church whispers. Mill buddies' side eyes. One June night, bar brawl. Drunk regular slurring faggots. Fists flying. Zachary swung wild. Crutches ditched. I pulled him off. Knuckles bloodied. Ice packs and apologies. Won't let them touch us, he growled. Us, I echoed, bandaging wounds. Strength in solidarity. Summer solstice. Anniversary of that garage kiss. Picnic at the lake. Wine chilled. He knelt, crutch-free now, ring simple silver. Nathan Hayes. Be my forever. Laughter. Tears. Zachary Ellis. Hell yes. Vows exchanged lakeside. Witnesses. Marco. Emily. Kids beaming. Humanistic close. Not fairy tale, but real. Love forged in betrayal's fire. Enduring American grit. The ring felt foreign on my finger. Cool band, a promise etched in metal. As we drove back from the lake under a canopy of fireflies winking approval. Zachary's hand engulfed mine over the gearshift, his thumb tracing circles that sent sparks up my arm. Elmwood streets unspooled quiet, porch lights flickering like distant stars. But inside me, a storm of joy and jitters churned. Marriage, queer, unscripted, in the heartland felt like defying gravity. Back home, the cottage we'd pooled for, mine renovated with his carpenter touch, glowed welcoming. Kids already tucked at Emily's for the night, a co-parenting rhythm we'd honed like a well-tuned engine. We uncorked champagne, bubbles fizzing like suppressed laughter, toasting on the back deck where crickets chorused. To us, he said, clinking glasses, eyes reflecting moonlight and mischief. The detour that became the road. To detours, I replied, pulling him close. The kiss started soft, celebratory, then deepened, hands roaming familiar paths, clothes shedding like old skins. We made love under the open sky, blanket tangled, breaths sinking with the night's pulse. Afterward, curled against his chest, heartbeat drumming under my ear, doubt whispered, "Can this last? In a town that chews dreamers?" Morning brought reality's bite. Coffee brewed strong. Headlines blared. Supreme Court ruling on marriage equality. A victory parade in D.C. we'd watch streamed. Tears streaming. But locally, pride flags rare. Sermons laced with Leviticus. Zachary scanned his phone, jaw tightening. Dad left a voicemail. Proud, but pray on it. Code for, fix this. I squeezed his knee under the table. One step. We're good. Workdays resumed grind. Me under hoods at the shop. Grease my war paint. Him stacking pallets. Sweat equity building savings. Evenings ours, dinners experimental. My spaghetti carbonara his fancy shit. Walks where hands swung free, defying stares. Love romanticized mundane. Grocery runs with cart races. Movie nights quoting brokeback lines with winks. But conflict brewed familial. His folks, Bill and Marlene, hosted Sunday supper, a tradition ironclad as rust. We arrived bearing pie, Zachary's limp faint from old injury. Table set bountiful. Roast ham, mashed potatoes heaped. Grace said with eyes averted from our linked hands. Conversation skirted edges, weather, grandkids, till Bill cleared throat. Heard about the engagement. Sudden, ain't it? Zachary met gaze steady. Not sudden. Real. Marlene fidgeted napkin. We love you, son. But church picnic Saturday. Folks talk. Let 'em. My voice calm, but pulse raced. We're family too. Awkward chew. Then pivot to recipes. Dessert thawed ice. Hugs at door lingered. Bill's clap on my back gruff. Progress. Jagged. Emily's role evolved ally. Joint custody seamless. Her dating an accountant from Sylvania, blonde. Bookish. Thawing her frost. Playdates included me. Park picnics where boys tackled us in tag. Her laughter genuine. You two glow, she admitted once. Pushing swings. Envy that. Summer swelled. Heat waves testing resolve. Town fair hit Elmwood. Ferris wheel creaking. Cotton candy clouds. Midway games rigged. We strolled arm in arm. Defiant in denim and tees. Kids trailing with stuffed prizes. Whispers trailed. Ellis boy and the mechanic. But pride swelled, his win at ring toss. My corndog duel. Fireworks capping night in bursts of color mirroring hearts. Betrayal's ghost resurfaced subtle. Old army buddy, Travis, rolled through, beer-bellied, tails tall. Bar night, shots flowing. He cornered Zachary. Heard you're playing for the other team. Emily said you wavered, slur casual, but venomous. Zachary's fist clenched. None of your damn business. Travis laughed, clapped back. Just saying, man. War changes folks. But not that much. Left sloshed. But seed planted doubt in Zachary's eyes next dawn. We fought quiet. My reassurances. His apologies for old friends. Lovemaking mended. But scar tissue pulled. Therapy suggested. Queer counselor in Toledo. Sessions unpacking closets cracked open. Betrayal's echo, she said. Voice neutral. Echoes fade with echo. Fall harvest brought bounty and burden. Wedding plans tentative, small. Lakeside. Justice of peace. Invites tricky. His folks RSVP'd. Maybe. Marco whooping yes. Emily officiating surprise. Kids flower boy and ring bearer. Beaming in tiny bow ties. Climax crashed pre-dawn November. Gales howling off Erie. Phone shrilled. Marlene. Hysterical. Your father's had a stroke. Hospital. Now. We raced I-80. Wipers battling sheets. Zachary white-knuckled. Mercy ICU hummed sterile. Bill pale. Tubes snaking. Monitors beeping dirge. Marlene wept in hall. Clutching rosary. He was praying. For you. For guidance. Guilt knifed. Zachary bedside. Hand enveloping his dad's frail one. Pop. We're here. Hours blurred. Docs murmuring aphasia. Rehab prognosis. Emily arrived with boys. Fortifying front. I brewed coffee runs. Silent sentinel. Night fell. Bill woke lucid sliver. Ice found Zachary's. Son. Love you. Always. Then. Softer. Him too. Nod my way. Tears carving tracks. Relief shattered dams. Hugs collective. Marlene's embrace fierce. Family's family, she whispered. Bill recovered slow. Speech slurred. But spirit unbroken. Visits routine, board games adapted. Stories swapped. Healing humanistic. Flaws forgiven. Bonds reforged. Winter wedding day dawned crisp. Lake frozen lace. Aisle petals red against snow. Guests bundled. Marco. Gym crew. Emily radiant in blue. Boys scampered. Rings safe. Vows exchanged wind whipped. In shadows and light. I choose you. Rings slid. Kiss sealed, cheers erupting. his folks front row, tears freezing. Honeymoon cabin upstate, snowbound bliss, fires crackling, mulled wine, bodies entwined rediscovering. Forever starts now, he murmured, tracing my ring. But drama lingers life's script. Spring 2017. Elmwood evolved slow. Pride float tentative at fair. Ally stickers on bumpers. Zachary's promotion to foreman. My shop expansion. Fatherhood deepened. Boys' sleepovers. Science fairs cheered. One July Eve. Garage echo, him under truck. Me handing tools. Laughter over spanner drop. Deja vu, he grinned. Best surprise ever, I replied, leaning for kiss. Life's engine hummed. Dramatic turns. Emotional depths. Romantic sparks. Humanistic heart. American as apple pie. Queer and unyielding. The garage kiss redux lingered like afterglow. But life's accelerator didn't ease off. By late summer 2017, our rhythm felt solid, workweeks punctuated by date nights at the drive-in, where we'd sneak beers and make out like teens in the truck bed, stars winking complicit. Zachary's leg healed straight, though a faint hitch remained on rainy days, a badge he wore with wry shrugs. Keeps me humble, he'd say, flexing for effect. Elmwood simmered in its small-town pot. Diner gossip shifted from scandal to sports. Our situation normalized to nods at the pump. But normalization bred complacency, and complacency invited cracks. Emily's new beau, Tom, proposed over Labor Day barbecue. Rings exchanged under string lights, kids whooping. We toasted genuine, her glow infectious, but Zachary's smile faltered later on the porch. She moved on clean. Me, still dragging chains. I pulled him close, porch swing creaking. Chains? Nah. You're free, babe. We both are. His sigh ruffled my hair. Free scares me more than locked up. Autumn winds carried change. Bill's rehab plateaued. Frustration mounting in crossword fumbles and phantom itches. Marlene leaned on us. Suppers turning triage, her worry lines deepening. Our support unspoken pact. One crisp October night, after tucking Bill in, she cornered us in the kitchen. You too. You're good for each other. Don't let go. Her hug fierce. Maternal claim staked. Gratitude swelled, but so did pressure. Wedding anniversary neared. Simple bands upgraded to etched vows. And Zachary planned something big. Clues dropped. Blindfold drives. Secretive grins. Eve of. He whisked me to the old fishing spot. Dusk painting water gold. Unfolded. Picnic basket. Guitar borrowed from Marco. Strummed off-key Dylan. Voice gravelly sweet. Forever young. Adapted lyrics pledging tomorrows. Tears pricked. I kissed him mid-chorus. Words lost to wind. Best surprise since the garage. Garages are our thing, he laughed. But eyes held depth. Lovemaking on flannel blanket. Urgent and tender. Seals of survival. Winter bit deeper. Holidays layered. Thanksgiving at his folks. Full table with Emily's crew. Toasts to blended weirdness. Christmas. Boys' eyes wide at dual trees. Gifts wrapped in newsprint. New Year's. Lake Bluffs again. Fireworks personal. His body arching under mine. Resolutions whispered in aftershocks. Spring 2018 bloomed ambitious. Shop boomed. Me eyeing franchise. Zachary's warehouse unionized. Voice rising in meetings. Community tugged. Local theater queer play. Us front row. Standing ovation defiant. But conflict coiled domestic, adoption talks. Boys old enough to grasp. Custody shared. But Zachary yearned full. They're ours. Nate. Legally. 2. Talks with Emily tense. Tom's protectiveness flaring. Stability first. Lawyers circled. Emotions raw. Mediation room sterile. Words weapons. You left, she accused. I chose truth, he countered. Me mediator silent. Heart advocate. Climax erupted May. Lilacs heavy-scented. Custody hearing loomed. Stress fractured Zachary. Nights pacing. Bourbon temptation warded. One storm-lashed midnight. Thunder cracking. He bolted. Truck keys snatched. Note scrawled need air. Back soon. Panic clawed. I followed Hunch to the lake. Wipers frantic. Found him on the dock. Feet dangling. Bottle half empty. Silhouette broken. Zach! Horn blared, he startled. Nearly slipping. Raced out. Arms hauling him back. What the fuck? Thought you were gone. He sagged against me. Rain mingling tears. Can't lose them, Nate. Or you. Drowning in it. Held him there. Waves lashing. Confessions pouring. Army ghosts. Father wounds. Fear of failing us all. You're enough, I murmured, kissing salt-streaked cheeks. We're enough. Dawn broke. Drove home sodden. Vows renewed in shower steam, bodies clinging. Fears washed tentative. Hearing day sweltered. Courthouse echoing footsteps. Judge stern. Briefs read. Emily's stability. Our commitment. Testimony mine. Love's a verb. We show up. Zachary's. Mistakes made. But families chosen. Verdict. Joint expanded. Adoption path cleared. Visits. Then trials. Relief crashed. Hallway hugs chaotic. Emily's congrats genuine through gloss. Boys news. 2 dads? Cool. High fives sealed. Summer solstice. Adoption finalized lakeside. Picnic redux. Papers signed under oaks. Boys hugs fierce. New last names hyphenated. Ellis Hayes. Emily teary. Auntie M approves. Betrayal's echo? Faint now. Lesson in resilience. Fall brought harvest dance. Shop grand opening. Ribbon cut with shears. Crowd cheering. Zachary DJ'd playlist. Springsteen anthems. Queer anthems blended. Winter wedding vow renewal. Nah life's ceremony daily. New Year's. Boys' first sleepover post-adoption. Fort built. Stories spun. Midnight toasts with root beer. But drama's not done. Humanism thrives in trials. Spring 2019. Health scare. My checkup flagged anomaly. Heart murmur. Tests looming. Zachary's vigil mirror of his hospital days. Hand-holding weights. Reassurances whispered. Biopsy benign, stress echo. Doc said, but bond iron tighter. Summer road trip. RV crammed. Boys bickering. Cross-country to Yellowstone. Geysers erupting like emotions pent. Campsites starlit. S'mores sticky. Lessons in wonder. Fall. Elmwood Pride inaugural. Booth manned. Rainbows fluttering. Speeches hours. Love wins quiet victories. Crowd swelled. Allies emerging. Winter solstice. Garage ritual. Tree-strung lights. Tools polished. 10 years since. Zachary mused. Arm around waist. Best never saw coming, I replied. Kiss grounding. Life's plot twists romantic. Emotional, human core beating strong. By 2020, the garage had evolved sanctuary. Walls lined shelves of projects half done. Air-scented pine from the tree Zachary chopped yearly. Our hands calloused in tandem. The world tilted pandemic, lockdowns shuttering shops. Mills idling, but our bubble held, homeschool pods with boys, virtual dates in PJs, gratitude journals scrawled in margins of fear. Isolation amplified intimacy. Mornings tangled, coffee shared mugs, evenings board games lit by candles, laughter echoing voids. Zachary's layoff tested, resume wars, rejection pangs, but my shop pivoted curbside, income bridged. Team, we'd affirm, high fives evolving pecs. Conflict crested virtual. Family Zooms fractured. Bill's frustration tech glitched. Marlene's worry viral. Emily's wedding canceled. Tom's patience frayed. One call. Zachary snapped. Everyone's breaking. We can't. Hung up. Stormed yard. Axe splintering logs fury. I followed. Gloves donned. Chop with me. Rhythms synced. Sweat cathartic. Pandemic's thief. Steals control. He paused. Axe buried. Miss normal. Miss us without masks. Pulled him down log. Hearts hammering. Us's core. Masks off here. Kiss fierce. Bark rough back. Spring thawed cautious. Vaccines queued. Park picnics spaced. Boys' online friends mocked. Gay dads. Cruel pixels. We countered talks open. Love's shape shifts. Yours? Infinite. Summer vaccines freed. Road trip postponed. Local loops instead. Cabin rentals. Lake dips. Anniversary garage party. Marco grilling. Emily dancing awkward. Kids fireworks lit. But betrayal variant struck sly. Zachary's old flame? Nah self. In mirror doubts. Late night confession. Dreamt army days. Woke guilty. Like I cheated then. Cheat now by not deserving. Held him dawn. Words bomb. Deserve? Earned every dawn. Past shadow, your light. Therapy tandem resumed. Unpacking crates long sealed. Humanist heal. Flaws not fatal. Growth grace. Fall elections polarized. Town divides. Signs staked yards. Ours neutral. But whispers at pickup. Your kind votes wrong. Boys shielded. But sting landed. Counter. Bake sale fundraiser. Queer youth ally. Cookies rainbow frosted. Proceeds local shelter. Winter holidays hybrid. Feasts masked. Toasts distanced. New Year's virtual countdown. Then private ball drop kiss. Resolutions whispered. Thrive. Not just survive. 2021 bloomed hybrid hope. Shops reopened. Hugs tentative. Zachary's rehire. Union strong. My franchise dream inked. Boys middle school bound. Braces gleaming. Crushes confessed over pizza. Like you and Dad Z. Laughter teary. Messy magic. Wait for it. Climax personal. Reunion trip planned. Yellowstone deferred. Grand Canyon instead. RV packed dreams. Miles unspooling stories. Desert nights vast. Stars indifferent witnesses to lovemaking under canyons. Echoes eternal. Betrayal? Echo faint. Old texts from Emily's phone. Accidental scroll. Her venting to sis. Zach's phase almost broke us. Stumbled upon laundry folded. Heart twinged. But showed him. Water under, he said. Deleting thread. We're ocean now. Humanism peaked there. Forgiveness not erasure, but elevation. Summer 2022. Elmwood evolved. Pride expanded. Floats ours helmed. Boys waving flags. Cheers thunderous. Wedding vow lake renewal. Decade marked. Guests swelled. His folks tearful. Emily maid of honor jest. Fall harvest. Adoption anniversaries. Parties park held. Cakes tiered. Boys' speeches halting. Dads taught brave. Winter solstice. Garage aglow. Projects complete. Tree twinkling. 15 years. Zachary tallied. Arms slung. Best plot twist. I grinned. Wrench handed. Life's narrative arcs dramatic. Kisses stolen. Hearts mended. Betrayals bridged. Emotional tides. Romantic fires. Humanistic horizon. American dream queered. Enduring. Years stacked like cordwood. 2025 dawned. Boys teens lanky. Sports stars echoing Zachary's youth. Shop chain tripled. Warehouse VP his title. Vacations annual Europe whispers. Boys passport stamped. 1 November Eve. Current date marking ordinary miracle. Garage called truck tune-up routine. Wrench slipped playful. Kiss followed. Timeless. I was helping my neighbor fix his car. But what he did next I never saw coming. Echoed now legend. Our origin myth. Shadows on the floor? Danced in. Not feared.